Now before you start building, you'll want to print the PDF file of the building plans out. It consists of 2 pages. One shows where all of the blocks go, and page 2 shows each of the blocks with a number assigned to them, so you know which blocks we're talking about goes on which of the pieces we're trying to assemble. This is what 10 castings of mold number 371 looks like. I suggest that you sort them into piles according to the PDF file. The PDF file shows block number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. So sort them into piles. These are block number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that way you'll be able to easily find the block you need for the particular castle piece you want to build. Now I'm going to use Aleen's Tacky glue to glue all these blocks together with. You can usually find this at most craft stores, even at the craft department at Walmart. It's really nice and thick, and it will set up in just a couple minutes, and you can go ahead and move on to the next pieces, and in about 10 minutes it'll dry. If you can't find this, you can also use something like Elmer's wood glue, or any wood glue for that matter. Now for the main Condottiere token, we're going to be using these pieces. We're going to be using pieces number 1, number 4, number 16, number 22, and number 24. And depending on what you want for the top of the token, you can either use your own miniature for the top of it, or if you don't have any miniatures that are the right size, you can cap it off with a piece from number 13, depending on what you want to do. Now we'll start by taking the number 4 pieces and gluing them together in a ring. So just take them and put them together so that you have a border around the outside, and we'll go ahead and glue them that way. Next, we're going to stack up the number 1 pieces on top of each other and glue them. But you notice that they've got bumps on the top, so that's going to be difficult to stack them on top of each other with the bumps. To take care of that, there's a couple of things you can do. One, you can cut these off with a hobby knife. So you can just take and set the piece down like this. A little hard to do it and get it in the camera. And just take a hobby knife and kind of knock those little tips off like that. Do that on all 4 sides until this thing will lay flat. Another option you can do is simply take yourself a piece of sandpaper and lay it down and then just sand those tips off. It doesn't matter if you mess up the texture on here because it's going to be glued on top of anyway. Now if you intend to use top number 13, you will have to cut the tips off of this as well, so this will glue on flat. But since I'm going to use a miniature for the top, I'm going to leave it the way it is, and I will glue this guy right on the top. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the pieces number 24. These are the little sloped roofed ones, and what we're going to do is we're going to glue them into place here and here. We're going to put the tower in the middle, and then we're going to go ahead and glue these right here and right here into place. Next we'll take the number 16 pieces and we're going to glue them nose to nose right here, and then we're going to set them right in here. And finally we're going to glue the number 22 pieces right on the front. What I've got them is all the way pushed towards the front, and I think they look better that way, so we're going to glue them in position like that. If you're using the miniature, you'll end by putting the miniature, gluing it on top. I'm going to use super glue gel to do that with. If you use the super glue gel, you're going to have to get a really good bead of the glue gel on the bottom of it. This dental stone, or whatever your casting material is probably going to be very porous. Once you get them in place, be sure that you get them exactly where you want them. And then he will not immediately stick. Once you put him down on there, you're going to have to leave him alone for a few minutes for the super glue to do what it wants. Now for the cathedral, we're going to need pieces number 1, number 12, number 14, number 16, number 21, and number 22. And depending on what you want for the top, you can use your own miniature, or you can use piece number 13 on the top. We'll start by gluing these 3 pieces together. Where you trim the knobs off of, glue it on top, and then glue this one on front. Next we're going to take pieces 14 and 16 and we're going to glue this 22 right on the top in the center. Now you don't have a lot of gluing space, you've really just got these 4 little tips, so go ahead and glue them into place. Be sure to use a lot of glue so they stick well. Next we'll take the 2 14 pieces and we're going to put them on each side of the cathedral. Now you'll notice the 14 pieces have one side with a porch and then they have a backside that's kind of got a flat back to it. It's the flat back that you want to glue against the main cathedral. So the flat back here is going to turn around and go right against the cathedral, and the other flat back on the other side is going to turn around and go against the cathedral. Now you don't have a lot of surface to glue on, so you may want to apply a lot of glue. Another option is you could take and sand this off till you got more of a flat side, but I'm just going to glue it on as is, and I think with enough glue it will hold on there. Now the last pieces to glue on are our number 16. He's going to go on the back, and we're going to put the flat back against the back here so the little porch sticks out on the front. And on the other side we're going to glue our piece number 12. The 12 is going to go on the front. And then finally the number 22 dome is going to go right here in the center. Now for the final top of the cathedral, you can go ahead and glue your own miniature on, or once again you can use piece number 13. If you use piece number 13, you'll have to knock these tips off so you'll have a nice flat surface to glue on. In the Condottiere game, each player is going to need 5 of their own castles. So for this very first castle, what you want to do is go ahead and glue together 5 of them for whatever color of player this is going to be. And so for all of the other castles that we're going to build, go ahead and make 5 each of those as well. So the first of the 6 is going to require 1 of each, a piece number 2, and number 6, and number 17, and number 18, and number 24. And to glue these together, you're going to take your base number 1 here, you're going to take number 6 and turn it and glue it against there so that you have a balcony all the way around the front. Then you're going to take number 17 piece, you're going to glue it right down in the middle here, and then you're going to take piece number 18, you're going to kind of turn it this way, and you're going to put it all the way against the front. And then we're going to finish by gluing piece number 24 right on the front, centered on that, to create our first castle piece. For the second of our castle pieces, you're going to need blocks 3, 5, 15, 16, and 22. To assemble this, we're going to take piece number 3 and number 5, and we're going to put them together like this. Then we're going to take our number 15 piece, which is the house here, and we're going to set it right here. It doesn't really matter which way it goes, but I put it so that this porch is kind of right like that, and glue it all the way up against the back. Then I'm going to take piece number 16 with its porch sticking outward, and I'm going to place it on here and just center it above here. And then our final piece number 22, I'm just going to glue right on the end of it, right like that. The third of our pieces requires a 4, a 7, a 14, and a 20. And to put this one together, what we're going to do is we're going to take this. Notice this is kind of an L shape. So I'm going to turn it so the sides of the L, or the borders of it, are that way and that way. So with it in mind, then I'm going to take our next piece, which is going to be a number 14. And we've got the back of it here, and we've got the front porch sticking out that way. I'm going to turn it so the back of the porch is against this side. So you kind of see that this side here and this side here are just simply open. And the railing goes around those two sides like that. Then we're going to take number 7 and we're going to glue it right against the front here. And then we're going to finally end up by taking piece number 20, and we're going to take this little tunnel, this little area right here, and put it right against the building to make it look like that there's kind of a hallway connecting those two buildings together. Our fourth piece is going to require pieces number 1, number 5, number 13, number 19, and number 24. And to put this one together, the first thing you need to do is to sand or cut the bumps off top of the number 1 piece. After you do that, you can simply take this number 13 piece and you can put it on top here. And then we're going to take the number 5 piece like this, and we're going to glue it up against there. Then we're going to take our number 19 house and we're going to put it right up there centered on this area. And then we're going to take number 24 piece and we're going to do it so that the balcony is on this end, and we're going to just glue it right on the end, centered just like that. Our fifth piece is going to require pieces number 2, number 7, number 18, and number 20. This is a very simple piece. What we're going to do is we're going to start with piece number 20. We're going to put it on here, and we're going to make sure that this front edge of it is kind of flush with the edge of the tower. So push it all the way that way, and it should pretty much center that tower right onto the middle of it there. Then we're going to take piece number 7 and we're going to glue it right against the front, and we're going to take our final piece number 18 and we're going to kind of glue it long ways centered on it like that. For our final piece, we're going to need one of each of number 3, number 6, number 15, number 17, and number 23. And to assemble this one, what we're going to do is we're going to take this stair piece number 3 and we're going to flip it around backwards. Then we're going to take this little roof piece number 23 and we're going to put it all the way on the end and kind of cap that end off like that. Then we're going to take our top tower piece, which is number 17, and we're going to put it right on the top of the tower like that. And then we're going to take this piece right here, number 6, and we're going to put it against here so we've got the railing kind of going around 3 sides. And then finally the house number 15, I'm going to put it on like this. You can put it on either this way with the doorway close to it, but I'm going to flip it around and so the doorway is more this way, and I'm going to glue it there, and that will finish our final piece here. Now after you're done building the pieces, you're going to have some blocks that were left over and not used. My suggestion would be to glue these together and use these as test pieces for you to practice painting on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and paint these up in various colors, and then I can practice dry brushing them and see if I like the way the colors come out. The next video in the series will cover different ways to paint these in various colors while also bringing out the details. Thanks for watching.